their numerous contributions in our NASCAR family. Today, we celebrate Kirk Price. Kirk is a technical inspector and official for NASCAR. He helps inspect truck and cars before and after they hit the racetrack, as well as help officiate during race and manage crowd control. Kirk has been involved in the sport since 2017, volunteering, and came on full-time in 2018. His hobbies are spending time with family, attending rodeos, classic car shows, bowling, and also giving back to communities. His interests are building businesses through entrepreneurship efforts and the agricultural lifestyle, as well as supporting our military. Fox Sports is happy to celebrate you and all the other Spotlight members, not just this month, but all year long.
Kirk Price, the image of him last year, 2020, was certainly one of the images from the season. Also 3 years active duty in the Army, so we appreciate your service, Kirk. All right, take a look. There it is, what we've all been waiting for. You've been counting down, Larry Mack, the countdown to green, get closer.
And there's Alex Bowman. He runs good on road courses. He's going to start on the outside of the front row, outside of Ryan Blaney tonight, and they drop the green flag.
48, did you see that? 48, that's the car he's driving.
New number, yeah, William Byron. I mean, you know, obviously he won here at Daytona last year on the ovals, a little different on a road course this time, but he's probably getting pretty excited.
Working with a new crew chief, of course.
There's 20 drivers that's excited about the news on Chase Elliott. He's going to start in the rear, so he's got a long way to go and a short time to do it.
I mean, he's been there before. How'd that work out for him in Phoenix?
It's worked out pretty good for him several times, especially on the road course.
It did. Brad Kozlowski there.
Yeah, you look at Brad. I mean, obviously, he's looking for a Daytona 500 win. Can he do it tonight to get that week started off? You never know.
All right, what about Denny Hamlin? We did not show him, but he's looking to make history on Sunday. If Hamlin can take his number 11 Toyota to victory lane, he's going to become the first driver in nearly 40 years to win the Great American Race. 4 times, joining the likes of Cale Yarborough and the King Richard Petty. A win would also be his 3rd Daytona 500 in a row, something no one has ever accomplished. Regan Smith is standing by with Denny.
Well, Shannon, Denny certainly has made Daytona his own personal playground. Denny, so much success at this racetrack. What it is about you showing up at Daytona that just feels so right?
Yeah, I mean, really, Florida in general was very, very good to us last year. So this FedEx team just does a phenomenal job of giving me race-winning cars. It doesn't matter whether it's on the big track or it's even on the road course last year. So excited for the new season. These guys worked really hard to try to make our road course program better, and hopefully I'm getting better as a driver.
Definitely getting better. I think you're underselling yourself a little bit there. You're a very good driver. Turn 1, going to look a little different in this clash than most clashes. What do you expect when we get down there later on?
Yeah, I mean, with the aerodynamic package, your braking zones are going to be different. So you can't really rely on what you had last year. You got to adapt to it. A lot of these guys, I'm sure, have been in the sim, but who knows till we get out there. It's really going to be kind of a touch and feel the way things through this for the first couple laps, and then you'll be able to go after it.
All right, good luck tonight, Denny. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Regan. Time now for the Toyota team update. Denny starting the highest of the Toyota bunch tonight in 3rd. His teammates Kyle and Martin a bit further back. And don't forget about Ty Dillon piloting the new 2311 racing entry. Who you got tonight, Bobby, to make your pick?
Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin.
Pretty smart right there, I think. I got a good pick.
Yeah, my man, I know he starts deep. He starts 18th, but he did finish 3rd in August. Martin Truex Jr.
Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. Even Denny just said he needed to work on his road course stuff, but you're going with Denny.
He finished 2nd there in August.
Yeah? All right,
so
you're good.
He's good.
I'm picking someone who didn't finish 2nd there in August, who actually led 34 laps. How many laps is tonight's race?
35.
Okay.
You do realize he's starting in the rear,
yes,
right?
you know what? I made my race picks earlier in the day, but I would still pick Chase Elliott even if I had to pick him again right now.
Going to take some strategy to get him up there, I believe.
I think he'll be able to do it. We've been waiting a long time
92
to do
days.
This. Let's go trackside for opening ceremonies. It's the Clash, everyone.
2, 1, go trade it.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please direct your attention back to our video boards. And please rise and remove your hats as Chaplain Julian Johnson from Advent Health offers today's invocation.
Dear God, today, thank you so much for the opportunity to gather together. I pray that you would bless every healthcare worker and every person who is stationed in the military around the world. We pray for every team and every driver. And I ask today that you would give us a vision of hope, a vision of peace, and a reason to smile today. In your name, amen.
And now to perform our national anthem. They recently made their country radio debut with their new single, Y'allsome. Please welcome Nashville-based and Black River recording artists Pryor and Lee.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
Beautiful. You guys know what race fans are doing right now? Cheering. They are cheering.
Love it.
We are getting ready. Race fans in the stands, cars on the track. We are going to have engine fired. When we get back, race coverage starts right here on FS1.
As usual, the stock car portion of Speed Week begins with a sprint race, an all-star event, the Busch Clash. That's the only usual thing you'll see tonight. They're going to turn left and right with a bus stop and a chicane. Expect the unexpected. It's the Busch Clash.
As the lights begin to shine, anticipation and excitement builds. It's time to shake off the rust as the best season ever is here.
Championship season. Here we go. Looking forward to this year, man. It's going to be a really good one. Get ready to rock and roll here.
A fresh start for some, a path to redemption for others.
Get your head in the game.
And tonight, when the green flag waves, history will be made. For the first time ever, the Daytona Road Course hosts the Busch Clash. 14 turns, 3.61 miles of non-stop action.
Whoa, down to the bottom and they touch.
The wreck. The sport's biggest names under the lights. What could get better than this?
It's incredible.
It all starts now on FS1.
Welcome to the Busch Clash at Daytona on FS1, part of Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health. It is a beautiful evening in Daytona Beach. It was 77 degrees this afternoon. No rain, though they do have rain tires if needed, but we won't. So here's where they'll race tonight. Left, left, right, left, right, left, 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 and then a jab, and then an uppercut, and a bus stop, and a chicane. Oh, my goodness. Is this going to be fun or what? NASCAR's best, lined up with no practice, no qualifying. Drop the green flag and let them go. A big welcome to all of our fans in the stands here in Daytona and all of you watching on FS1. To give the command for tonight's Busch Clash at Daytona, please welcome the Busch Guy.
Hey everyone, Busch Guy here. I've been waiting a long time to say this. Let's get this season started. Drivers, start your engines!
Welcome to the NASCAR broadcast booth, a place we have not been to since last March at Phoenix. And boy, are we glad to be back. I'm Mike Joy, along with Jeff Gordon, who's had great success, winner of the Rolex 24 Hours. Clint Boyer joins our Fox team for this year, and he finished top 10, the one and only time he was in a stock car on the Daytona road course. So, here we go. No practice, no qualifying. Drop the rag. Let's go. What's your biggest concern flying off into turn one?
All of it, but number one, knocking the rust off. It is extremely difficult to knock the rust off, ladies and gentlemen. A wintertime is a totally different thing. It's time to reset. A lot of teams, a lot of drivers are in different seats, but for me, I just watch those guys put their helmets on. Now it feels weird, Jeff. This feels really weird.
Well, boy, it's a little weird up here, having you up here too, but I'm excited, man. You're going to bring a lot of energy. We're going to have a lot of fun up here, and it all starts with a great race in the class because this race is all about fun, and we're going to do something different here. You know, and this track is very challenging. You've got a very slow infield section and technical, and then you've got these high-speed braking zones. I think it's going to be a big test for the drivers to knock the rust off, and the teams have to set these cars up, Mike.
Since 1979, they've run the Busch Clash at Daytona. It's never been run on the road course until, of course, tonight.
Welcome back to Daytona to kick off the NASCAR season.
It's just wild, it's crazy, it's intense. Big wreck going to happen here. Oh, no, man!
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway as the stock car portion of Speed Weeks kicks off here with the traditional running of the Busch Clash. The pace lap has begun. We're going to get this party started by talking to the driver who dominated most of the season last year, leading the league in victories with 9 and with laps led. All right, rookie, try out that on in-car radio for us.
Hey, Kevin Harvick's Boyer up in the booth. You got us?
Sir.
All right, you got the race. It's Busch, right? The Busch Clash here. Are you ready for this? What are you going to do? We talked about knocking the rust off. How do you do that? How do you use your experience as a race car driver to drive up through the field with these guys?
Oh, Clint, that's a good question. I'm not real sure what we have here. I was happy to get my seatbelt on today. My shoes are stiff, and I don't really know about this night racing stuff. But, you know, I think as you look at this race, it's going to be great for us. Obviously, I thought we thought we could run better here last year. We've got a lot of stuff to try in our car, and what the heck, man? You got nothing to do but go for it tonight, see what you have, and go from there.
Well, that's certainly what I was hoping you would say for sure. Jeff and I would, you know, we don't want to be bored up here. We want to see a show, and I know you're going to be able to put that on coming from the back. So good luck to you. Let's see some action.
All righty, thank you.
Hey, did he say you asked a good question? He never said that to me.
I gave him a layup. A layup.
All right, let's have a look at the Busch Clash starting grid for tonight's race. A blind draw put Ryan Blaney's Ford on the pole and Alex Bowman's Chevrolet alongside. Denny Hamlin, a 3-time Clash winner in a Toyota, along with Brad Keselowski's Ford, drew row 2. William Byron, in his second Clash start, finished 8th on the road course here last summer in his Chevy, and Tyler Reddick. Chase Elliott, the series champion, and the Rookie of the Year, Cole Custer, a Chevy and a Ford. Chase will go to the rear. We'll explain in a moment. Eric Jones, last year's Clash winner with a banged-up Toyota. This year he's in Richard Petty's Chevrolet. Joey Logano, 2017 Clash winner in a Ford. Ryan Newman, 2 times a runner-up on a road course. And Matt DiBenedetto, in his first Clash start, they're both in Fords. Chris Buescher, 5th on the road course here last year. And Ty Dillon in a one-off ride in a new Toyota team. Kurt Busch in a Chevrolet and brother Kyle in a Toyota. They are both former Clash winners. There's Kevin Harvick. He will start 17th in his Ford. And Martin Truex Jr., 4 times a road course winner in a Toyota. Austin Dillon, who ran the 24 Hours here a couple of weeks ago, along with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., both in Chevrolets, and Eric Almirola making his 6th Clash start in the Ford. Larry McReynolds is with us. Larry, competition caution coming at lap 15, and I guess that gives you lots of strategy options.
Well, Mike, it's a 35-lap race, and with the caution coming at lap 15, you say, well, it's simple. We'll come get 4 tires and fuel on that caution. But if I'm one of those drivers near the rear, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, now Chase Elliott, I may have to try something different to get that track position. So, Boyer, when it comes to strategy, unlike iRacing, you don't have to work with me, just don't work against me.
Hey, you just make the right call, Big Daddy.
All right, let's go down to pit road, and 2 of the best patrolling pit road for us. Let's begin with Jamie Little.
Hey, Mike, there's 5 drivers in the field tonight who've undergone a serious change with their team. Kyle Busch is one of those drivers. After 6 years and 2 championships with Adam Stevens, he's moved on. Now atop the pit box is Ben Bayshore. He got the call to move up from the Xfinity Series, but these 2 are certainly no strangers to one another. Ben was actually his race engineer here for 3 years, and they won some races in the Xfinity Series. This week is all about learning, and what a perfect place to do it, right here, right out of the box with the race. Regan Smith?
Well, Jamie, certainly one of the most anticipated debuts for a team that I can remember, and many people can, is that of 2311 Racing. But the team was not eligible to run in the Clash. Driver Bubba Wallace did not make it into this race based on last season, so they reached out to Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon now driving this car. Perhaps one of the best opportunities Ty Dillon has had in a Cup car. This team said it was simply a success getting to the racetrack today. Anything else is great. If they can get some good feedback on this race car coming into a couple weeks from now, it will be awesome. The team's regular driver, Bubba Wallace, he is on top of the pit box. He has never heard his crew chief, Mike Wheeler, on the radio. He wants to learn and get every bit of knowledge he can about what's going to happen the rest of this week.
Thanks, Regan. 14 turns, they're calling it here, counting the bus stop and the chicane and the entire infield. Where are the hot spots?
I think right there. You said the infield is... Look how dark it is compared to when we were here in the daytime. The Rolex, it is dark, but right here, there's your hot spot.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski. I think we're going to see a lot of this, especially as the tires start to fall off. That's the back straightaway bus stop. We've also got a chicane that is on the front straightaway. Let's look here and see. Going into that front straightaway bus stop, we've seen plenty of guys. I was going to say Kyle Busch is the guy that comes to mind of overshooting this one. So, and when you miss that, you have to come to a complete stop. So it's a huge penalty, but we got wheel hop, tires locking. That's where I think we're going to see a lot of the action.
And they're braking themselves. It's going to be extremely hard with the downforce package we have to get at these things stopped tonight.
Now, to kick off the NASCAR season in style, Busch Beer is giving away the Busch RV during tonight's race. All you have to do is follow at Busch Beer on Twitter and tweet hashtag #HandOnRV and hashtag Busch Sweepstakes every 5 laps during today's race to be entered to win. Chase Elliott drew 7th spot. Jeff, remind everybody, why is he starting out back?
Yeah, they had some kind of an issue. A lot of cars had issues going through inspections with a new template that NASCAR had. But I guess when all that was going on, something that Alan Gustafson saw with their car, where they were going to have to make some adjustment to it, and they ended up having to make that adjustment. Because of that adjustment, NASCAR sent them to the rear of the field. But yeah, we're still trying to gather some of that information to know exactly what went on there. But boy, well, I think we all felt like Chase Elliott's going to be the guy to beat, but I don't know about coming from the rear now.
That'll make it interesting at the very least. 35 laps around this 3.61 mile road course. Competition caution at lap 15. You cannot fuel your car prior to the competition caution. Here they come to get the long-awaited stock car portion of Speed Weeks underway in Daytona. Green flag and the Busch Clash is underway.
Ready, 3 wide.
Oh, Tyler Reddick.
3 wide. in turn 1. And they all made it.
That was pretty wild there, as we expected.
Yeah, I'd say, man, I'm telling you, like I said, first thing I noticed right off the bat was how dark it was through the infield. The only time I've ever been on it like this is during that Rolex race.
See Denny Hamlin there making an inside move. The 48 car of Alex Bowman. Already seeing some front brakes glowing there on the 24 car. Look at Denny Hamlin going after our leader, Ryan Blaney.
Reddick on the outside with William Byron in the 24. And Hamlin wants the lead.
Diving in there, he's going to take it.
Well, obviously Denny Hamlin felt something really good in the braking zones with that number 11 FedEx Toyota and gave him the confidence to make that move. Ryan Blaney looks like his car still, those tires still coming up to temperature.
Just trying to feel it out, trying to get in the swing of things, trying to figure out, you know, how far can you go? Again, this is a different downforce package. These things are not going to want to stop like we were last time we were here.
Side by side into the bus stop.
Boy, so many unknowns. We keep talking about Mike and Clint, talking about where is the braking zone, new aerodynamic package. Never been on this track at night. Haven't been in a race car all winter long. They did a pretty nice job getting through that bus stop.
Absolutely, figuring out pretty fast. This is the chicane that I was talking about earlier. This was really difficult last year for me to get the most out of the car getting into this corner.
Penske cars all under a blanket coming into the chicane. Turns 13 and 14.
Well, Alex Bowman there trying to make a move to the inside of Ryan Blaney. Let's see if Tyler Reddick can do what he did on this opening lap. He does. Boy, that car really carries a lot of speed and laid onto the brakes into turn 1.
The line narrows up right there through turn number 2. Hard to go double file through there, but they find a way. Here is Byron in the 24.
Not going to miss that exhaust display this year.
Is there a color they didn't use on that car? I don't think so. It's not a rainbow, Jeff, right?
Well,
I don't know.
A rainbow.
Depends on how you look at it. And that's not Jimmy Johnson in the 48. Jimmy concluded his Cup career at the end of last season. And Alex Bowman moves over and picks up that storied number. That
you see the brakes glowing already. That'll probably get better. Obviously, they're on them pretty hard, trying to figure out, make sure that they get stopped and load up for the corner. You'll figure that out. Because spotters will be definitely telling you, hey, that ain't gonna last. Back off the brakes, Jack.
Up arrow, Kyle Busch. He is up 7 spots since the start of this race.
Well, he wants a redo on the last time they were at this road course here in Daytona. Things did not go well at all for Kyle Busch. Oh, look at that front.
Joey Logano.
Yeah, the front nose.
Absolutely. That's going to be costly. I bet you that was the chicane on the front straightaway over here.
Yeah, those curbs over there really are high. That's going to be a big problem for Joey Logano and the aerodynamics, really planting the nose on that car.
It will definitely not turn.
And that's just going to pack air underneath that front splitter.
Well, let's show you how it got that way.
You see those curbs that Clint was talking about. He's to the inside, trying to make a move, trying to see what car that is.
Teammate, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's Brad Keselowski. Just had to get the left front over that huge curb there.
And that's all it takes, that quick. And it's going to be a tall order the rest of the race.
Jamie?
And Joey Logano just radioed to his crew chief, Paul Wolf, and said, I don't know if it's the damage or what, but my motor sounds and feels different. So he said 10-4 on the motor. They're keeping an eye on the 22.
Those turtles, I'm not sure how high those are, but that looked like it hurt everything.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it just hurts momentum because you can't keep the speed through the corners. The front end won't stay down like Jeff talked about. It's a struggle. Nightmare is what it is.
You know, guys, that is not going to be something easy to fix on that 22 car on a pit stop. There's so much brackets and braces in there. You'd think you just get it back down, but it's a lot easier said than done.
Kevin Harvick in 17th, right where he started. Riding it out for now. Here's last year's winner of the Busch Clash on the oval in his new ride, Richard Petty's Chevrolet. And no, that sponsor has, those are just by coincidence, Richard Petty's initials. William Byron working with a new crew chief this year and talking about brakes.
Rudy, we have a lot of left front glow getting into 3. We saw it on TV here too. So, all right. So remind up braking zones and exits here.
That was that communication I was talking about. Spotter was telling the crew chief, oh, no, Harvick in the grass.
Harvick had issues at this race when they raced here last summer. Saw himself
back on the bus stop.
Spun around here a couple times, one from some help from somebody else. So let's go back and see what happened here. Here's entering the bus stop. Oh, man.
A lot of dirt.
Jumped in the gas.
No. There's a lot of dirt on the racetrack. Yeah, those guys have been going through the dirt. Very, very easy to do back there. You saw as soon as he hit that dirt, it just lit the tires up and away it went.
You know, that bus stop reminds me of the S's at Riverside, California Raceway. NASCAR's original road course. I once asked Buddy Baker, how do you get through the S's? And he was messing with me. He says, you mean that straightaway that's half dirt on each side?
Well, we were actually talking about this, right, Clint, before this race started and that bus stop. And the one thing that Clint immediately you said, hey, they're going to throw dirt out there. When you throw dirt out there, if you're following somebody, you have no idea and you have no grip.
4 laps complete, glowing rotors in the night at Daytona Beach. Denny Hamlin leads the Clash. Welcome back to the Busch Clash. Here's tonight's Ford Performance Track Facts. Ford has 9 victories in the Clash, beginning with Bill Elliott, Chase's dad, in 1987, and Brad Keselowski in 2018, the most recent Ford winner. Nice new racing exhibit at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn. You'll be able to check it out beginning in March. Denny Hamlin has 1 road course win in his Cup career, 2016 at Watkins Glen, and finished second here last August to Chase Elliott on the road course. Martin Truex on the move.
Hey, Kyle Busch. In my opinion, what I'm seeing right now is the strength of these Gibbs cars. I think they've shown that they did their homework and are forced to be reckoned with. I also see a lot of brake temperature. Is this an opportunity? Is this it's probably, Jeff, lack of downforce, getting into the corners, as we talked about, harder to get in the corner, and teams seeing what they can get away with in this Busch Clash. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, absolutely, right? This is a race that there's no points on the line. Why not be aggressive? And it is a night race, but yeah, I think that they're probably have the brake openings closed up a good bit. I think Larry McReynolds was talking to us. He's seen how much they're closed up. That's going to make those brakes really hot also. Look at this draft of the 19, Regan.
Jeff, Martin Truex Jr., very fast race car. This team anticipated this as we see him make the pass on the 22 of Joey Logano. The biggest complaint he's got, though, is on the backstretch. He said the racetrack is like a dirt track. My radio is lighting up with all the drivers saying that exact same thing, that it's like a dirt track back there. Clint, you need to be in the car. You're a dirt guy.
Oh, man, I'm up here. I'm actually wishing I was, man. I'll tell you.
I don't see how Martin sees his windshield.
That's because his windshield's blocked.
Now here's turn 3 last time by. You see how dirty that windshield is.
Oh, a little wheel hop.
Oh,
you can see those rear tires just start to vibrate and bounce up and down there a little bit as he was getting into that braking zone.
Very easy to do, and that's a combination of the brakes getting hot. Speaking of brakes getting hot, missed the corner right here.
Yep, Matt DiBenedetto missed the chicane, and the penalty for that is you have to stop and go right there. Pit stops at lap 6.
Oh, got some strategy, boys.
Well, no surprise, Joey Logano's in with that damage to the nose, but we'll see if what kind of strategy the one car of Kurt Busch is going to pull, because he's on pit road also, maybe possibly with an issue.
Hey guys, one thing they could be doing is getting their 4 tires now. Remember what you said, Mike. They can't fuel the car until lap 15, so they will be back, Regan, to get fuel at least then.
Well, Larry, we just talked about all the dirt on the racetrack. I think that showed the one car's hand right here. The temperatures on that race car, it skyrocketed because of all the dirt. They had to clean the grill, forced their hand to take the 4 tires right now.
And that dirt, guys, that's just kind of like a gentleman's rule. There's nothing worse than a guy going through the dirt in front of you because it's like an oil slick as soon as they do. It turns it into a gravel road back there. You're like, come on, man. But I tell you, if you got somebody on your tail and you didn't want them there anymore, it's a little bit of dirt under the tires.
I can see it in his eye, Mike.
I know.
He's going to use that in the last lap.
I don't know that I've ever done that before, maybe, huh?
How are we going to contain him until we get to Bristol on the dirt this spring?
I think what I'm seeing the most, guys, is this brake temperature. I think the teams have overlooked the difference in the speed. These guys are pushing it, and their brakes keep getting hotter and hotter and harder.
Yeah, when you don't have that big spoiler hanging up off that rear deck lid to help slow you down and drag you down into the corner, you're going to use a lot of brakes.
I once asked Parnelli Jones about racing at Riverside. I said, does your car handle better when you put the two inside tires off in the dirt? He said, no, but the cars behind me handle worse.
That's exactly right, and that's what happens. But I've started to see a lot of wheel lockup. We saw that wheel hop and things like that. That's a product of these brakes starting to go away and making it more difficult to stop.
Well, and I would think with less downforce, you know, you're going to see more, not just more brake temp and fade, but you're going to see the tires starting to fall off more.
Let's have a look at Kurt Busch and give you an idea of the dirt on the track and see if we can make out who he is following 3 laps ago. I think that's the 17. Maybe.
Really bad on the exit. We just need to keep the camera there. Let's figure out who's doing it, all right?
It is a dirt track back there. Oh, man, look at this windshield. Mark Truex Jr. He only wishes that he could use that windshield wiper to get the dirt off. I don't know if it would do any good for that.
Absolutely. Golden rule. Do not use that windshield wiper unless you absolutely have to.
And here's Ryan Newman.
I think Chase Elliott said that, man, all the windshields are dirty. I think he used it and smeared his windshield up, Chase Elliott.
Meanwhile, Elliott started tail end of the field. He has come to 14th place, but what can he see through there?
My right-handers are pretty good. My lefts are super tight with no drive. My rights are fairly good, huge drive. But yeah, I just can't see, man. That's my biggest problem right now.
Well, Chase Elliott just finished the 24 hours of Daytona here. That car looks like it's just run 24 hours.
At least on hour 20.
7 of 35 laps complete in the Busch Clash. Denny Hamlin trying to win it for the 4th time. Caution is out. Track sweeping underway at the bus stop. You want a chance to win $25,000 during the Daytona 500? Just download the free-to-play Fox Bet Super 6 app for your chance to win. All you have to do is correctly pick the finish of 6 drivers. You think it's easy? We didn't have a winner last year, but over 600,000 people have entered already. The Fox Bet Super 6 app. Download and play today. Why are we under caution? Why not?
Well, we were prepared for rain if it came, but I don't know if any of these teams are prepared.
Dirt tires.
Dirt tires they're going to need.
A lot of dirt on the racetrack back here on the bus stop, and finally enough was enough, and they threw the caution.
All that brand new grass gone to waste.
Oh, we got some takers.
Pit road's open, and here comes the leader, Denny Hamlin. And it looks like he is going to bring most of the field with him.
But not all of them. Now we got a race.
Now, this is not the competition yellow, so no fuel can be added, Rita.
Well, you see Denny Hamlin sitting on pit road right now. They wanted to go ahead and get some tires for this race car. He's been just a little bit too loose, meaning the back is sliding around, not just because of the dirt, because the race car is just simply too free for him. He needs forward drive off the corners.
Over 2.5 seconds of fall off of these tires already in 8 laps. So that's going to show you these are important. That's why they're putting them on there.
Each team has 4 sets of tires, slick tires that is, and 3 sets of rain tires if needed. A little agricultural racing went on there.
Knocked off it.
Tire wear, not much there. But many drivers came in for tires under this first caution of the night. We have 9 laps complete competition caution at lap 15. 5 drivers have not been to pit road at all. And they're starting out front. Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Tyler Reddick, William Byron, and Chris Buescher.
When you said it, Clint, we've already seen about 2 to 2.5 seconds of fall off. So tires are going to be important. The question is, are you going to want tires again here in about 5 laps?
We're going to find out. These boys better run quick.
Out of the chicane into the tri-oval, green flag waves.
Gets into Truex coming back.
Harvick's around again.
Oh man.
Harvick deep into the weeds there.
Yeah, Harvick is not loving this race course. It has not been kind to him.
Sounded a lot happier on the replay.
Wow, Bowman got a shot from Buescher there.
Yeah, but
straightened it out.
Look at Tyler Reddick.
Run on the inside here. You run out of real estate quick.
Into turn 5, the West Horseshoe, and Reddick is out front by himself.
Well, I really thought Tyler Reddick was going to be disappointed to be on the inside lane in that braking zone into turn 1. He wanted to go 3 wide, and it worked out pretty well for him because Ryan Blaney overshooting the first turn.
Still clear, still clear.
Haven't talked a lot yet about the 23 car, the 2311 new team, Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin, but Ty Dillon behind the wheel as they go 3 wide.
You heard all that wheel spin. High horsepower, low downforce, hard to get traction.
And you could hear it. This is going to be interesting. Newman will not back off.
Big braking zone into the bus stop.
Still a lot of dirt back there.
Yeah.
A lot of dirt. You see that 21 car, Matt Meadow getting sideways right there. That's going to be interesting all night long.
Martin Truex Jr. making a move to the outside of Alex Bowman. Going to make that pass into the chicane.
And for the lead, Brad Keselowski had a look entering the chicane. And again in the tri-oval.
Denny Hamlin's getting there fast.
I was going to say, to his tires, watch out behind you guys.
But I saw him lock up. I see a lot of wheel lock up. Ooh.
Long way around for Reddick.
He's always like the outside. Here comes Denny.
Larry Mack, what did all those tire changes under this first caution flag, what's that do for your race strategy?
Well, as far as those 5 drivers that did not pit, like Tyler Reddick, like Alex Bowman, they're going to have to come to pit road, in my opinion, at the competition caution in 4 laps and get 4 fresh tires and fill it up with fuel. But I look at Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, and Martin Truex Jr. Remember, Keselowski and Jeremy Bullins, his crew chief, they're like the Mad Hatter. I almost believe what they'll do is they'll probably come and do fuel only and keep the tires on there and keep that track position.
Let's go back to the restart and watch the 12 of Ryan Blaney, who also had the pole on the initial race start with Bowman alongside.
Well, he got a great start, but you can see he just carried a little more speed than the guys behind him as he tried to get on the brake pedal a little bit harder to slow it down, just started locking those front tires up, Clint.
Yeah, a lot of wheel lock up. I actually thought it was enough to probably have to pit, but he's still running.
But now watch when he comes back on the track, gets in the side of the 19 of Mark Truex Jr. Some right front damage to that 19 Toyota.
Quite a bit of damage.
Further back, Kevin Harvick went off track in turn number 1, and as you saw, he's made a pit stop for repairs, but is still on the lead lap.
Well, there's a lot of things that are going on right there. First of all, you got one guy that overshoots the corner, but when he came back on, you can't go through 3 wide through that section, Mike. It just doesn't work.
The wrong place at the wrong time for him, for sure. I tell you what, I'm super impressed. Martin Truex is the hard charger of the race by far.
Yeah, he's come from deep in the field. You called it pretty early on. What a great race car he had, and was moving up through the field, one of the fastest cars.
He was good here in August, guys, and got busted for a pit road speeding penalty, came back to finish 3rd.
Yeah, great point, Larry.
Now, the first of the drivers who have not yet been to pit road is 4th place, Tyler Reddick. Jamie.
Having a good time out there in his first Busch Clash. Now, just before this race started, he got on the radio, pumped up his team, and he told owner Richard Childress, I'm going to go out there and put on a show just to welcome you back to the track. Of course, team owners weren't at the track for most of last year. He did put on a show, but maybe pushed it a little too far, Mike. They're looking for some damage and maybe perhaps a tire rub on the 8.
Speaking of pushing, here comes Hamlin.
Set him up on the outside right there to work on the inside, getting into 6 right here. That's a hard thing because they can run you off the track right there, Jeff.
Yeah, once you get that position inside, pretty much you're going to complete the pass like Denny Hamlin did. But you saw where Keselowski really fought back on the 19 car.
That pass actually started in turn 5, and that's what's the tough thing. It's a commitment. You got to commit to the outside to set yourself up for the inside on 6. But if they run you off the track, there's nothing you can do about it.
And look at the speed on this 19 car coming off of that corner onto the banking, and all the speed he carries down the back straightaway behind his teammate Denny Hamlin.
And on that straightaway, 2 Toyotas walking the dog on Keselowski's Ford.
Tires.
All 3 of them were on pit road at lap 9. Brad Keselowski and company working on pit strategy.
Hey, Brad, so our options are to run this out, then do fuel only, or we can come in another lap and put another set on and do fuel only at the end. I'm with you, Jeremy. Whatever you decide.
Jeremy Bullins calling the shots for Brad. Here is Chase Elliott moving to the inside of last year's Clash winner Eric Jones. This is for 5th place.
I'll tell you who keeps looking to the inside is Martin Truex on Denny Hamlin for the lead.
Let's go on board here. Eric Jones.
Nice visor cam shot here.
What a great view.
Whoa, that's the wheel hop.
Wheel hop.
Easy to do in turn 3 right here. And then listen to how hard it is to put the throttle down.
And watch that car disappear in the distance ahead of you.
Pretty smooth right there.
Now watch this kink, the dog leg coming up on the left. A lot of having to get out of the throttle a good bit there. And then a heavy braking zone as you go into this right turn 5. Clip that curb. Try to swing out wide to the curb on the left side.
Everybody runs that turn 5 different. Some people try to stay tight and get straight drives off. A lot of people use as much track as possible on exit.
Well, that turn 6 is also a tough braking zone, as rough as it is. And here's that lead. Denny Hamlin in the 11. With a 19 of Mark Truex Jr., I don't know if he's just able to use the draft or his car just is trimmed out a little bit more than his competitors. He carries so much speed down the straightaways.
I'm going to tell you they're trimmed up pretty similar, Jeff.
You would think.
It looks to me like, compared to the competition. Look at here. I think he let him go.
Well, Denny got kind of loose coming out of the bus stop.
You and him, 20 out the back.
So, Larry, if you want tires before the competition caution, here's your final shot.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it right now, Mike, because remember the rule. You have to be on pit road before the caution is displayed. So if you're going to do it, you're going to have to come right now.
No takers for our first 4 or 5. Oh, here comes the first takers at Chase Elliott. No, somebody right behind Chase Elliott.
That'll be Reddick.
Tyler Reddick, yes.
Along with Jones and Bowman.
Got to try something right here, right?
Jamie?
Randall Burdett for the 8 of Tyler Reddick called his driver in, reminded him, keep it in first gear as you roll down pit lane. They want to get 4 fresh tires. First pit stop of 2021 for this team. They'll check for that damage as well that he thought he had when he went off track earlier. Looks good. He's down and away, Mike.
Very good heads up on that first gear. That's something that you would forget and overlook. 9 times out of 10, your second gear pit road speed.
Yeah. And no danger of going a lap down here on the road course where the lap times run right at around 2 minutes.
You know what I'm surprised with this 19, our leader of Mark Truex Jr., is that right front damage. We saw heavy contact between Ryan Blaney and him, and he's been able to knock that fender out, maybe over some of the curbs or something, and actually has clearance that right front fender.
Yeah, it took a shot. Usually that's going to be a huge rub.
Alex Bowman is the second driver tonight to receive a penalty. Too fast on pit road. Ricky Stenhouse had one earlier under the caution for his team being over the wall too soon. You see Bowman highlighted on our scoring pylon, indicating the penalty.
Well, the good news is that competition caution is going to be coming out here soon, so hopefully he doesn't have to serve that penalty, or he won't serve that penalty before that caution comes out.
So this will complete 15 laps, and somewhere on this lap, NASCAR will wave the caution flag, but
Chase Elliott
is on pit road before the caution flag.
The green's still on pit road speed entrance. The light's still at green.
Yeah, they have not thrown the caution. I think they're going to let the whole field cycle past the start-finish line before they throw it. So these are legal stops right here. They can do their 4 tires.
Austin Dillon is in, and so is Kurt Busch. Regan.
Well, Chase Elliott getting ready to make his pit stop right here. They decided to pit a little bit early, try and do something to leapfrog some of the competition. That race car doesn't have drive right now. It means the back tires won't hook up like you see right there. They spin when he gets on the gas.
Ryan Blaney also stopping. There's his car pulling into the stall. And they will handily be able to exit pit road before Martin Truex comes around.
But remember, still not able to put fuel in the car because that competition caution has not come out yet.
Kevin Harvick is in again. And he'll get tires. Here comes the leader. Up in the east banking of the speedway, NASCAR turns 3 and 4.
And you'd think it would be coming. Where's the caution, boys?
And the starter is holding the flag. Caution is out.
Competition caution.
All right, black flag gets put away. Martin Truex's goal was to be running 8th when the competition caution waved. He more than succeeded. He's your race leader. Daytona, we told you expect the unexpected. No one expected this. As the caution flag came out, watch the 19 of Martin Truex, bottom of your screen. He is the race leader.
But it doesn't even look like he was really attempting to make the chicane, which is a penalty.
Well, here's how he explained it.
Oh, Rick, pace car. I was expecting a chicane. Okay, the front stretch. This is the front stretch chicane. I got you. I don't know why I did that. That was a terrible job. Sorry. Yeah, no problem.
Now that's his new spotter, Drew Herring, is up on the roof for Truex beginning tonight for 2021, and he will restart in the back for missing the front stretch chicane.
Boy, you talked about knocking the rust off.
Oh, that was big. Pit crews get to knock the rust off right here. Everybody's on pit road. And for the first time tonight, they'll be able to add fuel as well as tires. Jamie?
Brad Keselowski says he's a little free. They're going to make a wedge adjustment in the right rear 4 tires. Jeremy Bullins called for 1 can of Sunoco fuel. Regan?
Well, Denny Hamlin's still sliding the rear of that race car more than he would like to. They're going to make a small adjustment for that. Martin Truex Jr., the plan was to take gas only. They changed that with the penalty he just got. They took 4 tires instead.
It's a race off pit road. Kurt Busch, Austin Dillon, Denny Hamlin, but one car does not take off from its pit stall, and that's Tyler Reddick.
Did they not get all the lugs tight?
Something happened.
No, he started to accelerate, but very slowly he left the pit box.
They caught a mistake right there or something. Backed him back in and put tires on it. Maybe put the wrong side, tires on the wrong side.
So on the competition caution, Martin Truex is looking for the pace car to pick him up. He's not looking at that chicane. And he'll restart in the back. Welcome back to the Busch Clash at Daytona on FS1. 17 of 35 laps complete. Here's how they'll line up for the restart. Now, Tyler Reddick's car stalled, leaving his pit. It's like Clint spoke at the top of the show. You gotta scrape the rust off. Well, listen to what Tyler Reddick said he did.
I went to hit the starter and I caught the ignition shut off. It was off, so I went fire. Sorry, guys. Totally my fault. I'll tear it in. Back for you guys.
I've done that very thing, guys. You reach over there in a panic to start it again, and you accidentally hit the ignition switch, and then you're in bad shape. You're sitting there turning it over, no ignition.
Well, wait a minute. Why is the ignition switch right next to the starter switch?
I was going to say the same thing.
Conveniently located because you need them both.
Yeah, okay.
How many times have we heard sorry within like the last 5 minutes?
Rusty, boys, rusty. Here we go.
Under green. 17 laps to go. What next?
Oh, no! Kurt Busch.
Whoa! Abort!
Wow.
Man, he just went to DeLand.
Man, you do not want to be the leader going into that first turn.
No.
How about the guy following the leader doing that?
Well, that would be Denny Hamlin, and he's back in the lead. The battle here for third, Austin Dillon on the outside.
That had to make Ryan Blaney feel a bit better about what happened to him earlier. Not being the only one that locks up those tires going into turn one. And Clint, I'm curious, is there a bump or something, a transition down there that allows that to happen a lot easier than you think?
Well, it just entices you in there. And the biggest thing for Kurt Busch right here is he's been able to follow suit getting in there. Now he's leading the charge. You don't know exactly where that is. Your mark getting into turn one is of race pace. When you're on that restart, you're going in a different pace. Obviously, being a leader, drastically different.
When I think of the Charlotte Roval, how many times we've seen that happen in that first turn?
Very, very easy to do.
Cold tires a factor?
Absolutely. All of the above.
Hamlin, Blaney, Logano, Austin Dillon, and Kyle Busch up among the front five.
And cold brakes, Mike. To your point right there, you got to make sure you got some temperature in your brakes because them things want to lock up bad when they're cool.
Clint, Jeff, what might have happened to Kurt Busch is Matt McCall did right sides only at lap 15. Then when the competition caution came out, he did left sides. So there was heat in the right sides, no heat for the most part in the left.
That would make
it may have been the throttle stuck, Larry. Looked to me like.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because it was that left front tire. How about Logano?
Yes, Logano right there in third. Dillon, Kyle Busch, Cole Custer. Last year's Rookie of the Year up into the top half dozen. As Kyle has a look underneath. That hole almost closed up right there.
Really hard to run side by side through this sweeping left and right.
But that left and right is how you set them up. You've got to be able to set them up even a corner before it gets to that good, you know, racing braking zone where you have a chance to pass.
How about a drone shot?
Like that. I dig this one. Shows how fast you're going right there. It's so easy to dip your right sides off. You can't see it. It's kind of a blind corner in that turn four. The kink right there, it is very, very treacherous.
Austin Dillon ran 6 hours in the Rolex 24 last week here. Got a lot of laps, but Jeff, as we talked during the week, driving those lightweight mid-engine prototypes, does any of that transfer once you get in these big, heavy stock cars?
Well, laps are laps, and under the lights here, you know, it's the first time these guys have run on the road course in these cars under the lights, so I would think that that would be good experience. But I love that some of these guys are running other types of race cars during the off-season. We've seen Chase Elliott run midgets and the 24 hours, and Austin Dillon in the prototype car here. But yeah, that car is going to break a whole lot different in these cars than it does in those.
You hear the revs right there on the downshift. Very easy to get it over revved on something like that too. You're using that rev to slow the car down, and you can over rev the thing pretty easy.
Denny Hamlin last lap was 1 second quicker than the field, and you rode with Ryan Newman there. He had a little bit of a moment. Watch the 6 car.
See Matt DiBenedetto getting to the inside, gets up on the curbs, makes a little contact.
I think the 6 got loose out there.
You think he got loose?
Well, I mean, I honestly think he got loose before he got helped.
Yeah, it's like he jumped in the throttle right as he got
21 actually corrected him.
Straightened him out.
And look at all the momentum you lose and all the positions you lose when that happens.
Well, especially on that long back straightaway.
So Newman now back to 16th as Hamlin leads Blaney by almost a second. Logano another second back.
I like what I'm seeing from Ryan Blaney. He's actually putting some really competitive lap times down faster than him on that last lap.
Yeah, keeping him honest, isn't he?
The top 4 have a combined 7 road course victories in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Oh, we see a 17 to Buscher. I think he got into the braking zone a little deep there and started wheel hopping. You saw some smoke.
Well, it started back when they were 3 wide the corner before.
So this is through the turn number 5, right-hander. Cole Custer locks up, goes a little wide, allows Brad Keselowski to get to the outside there, 3 wide.
I think he went out there to race Keselowski and left the door open for Busch.
Oh, man.
Oh, overconfident.
I couldn't tell. There's a big dip in the braking zone right there. I don't know if he locked the right front up and then started wheel hopping, but nice recovery for Chris Busch.
It's not just that dip either, Jeff. It's very rough, very choppy, washboardy right there. That thing will entice some wheel hopping.
Last lap, Ryan Blaney had the fastest lap of the field. He was 2 or 3 tenths quicker than the race leader, Regan.
Well, Mike, this started actually last time that we came to the road course here at Daytona. They struggled with that 12 car. Todd Gordon told me they really had to make some significant changes after that race going into the Roval at Charlotte. Much of what they learned that race they implemented into this car. They felt very confident today. That's showing right now.
Well, as you saw, Cole Custer missed the chicane, came to a stop, but he has not restarted. He was in 7th place. Plenty of time for him to get that car fired before the field comes around, and they might have to toss the caution flag once again. But he's not moving.
Might be that caution we were hoping for, Jeff. It's funny how that changes, right? Your view changes up here in the booth. Now I want to see cautions, re-rack them.
Hey, have you changed your phone number? Because I just want to warn you what happens when you start talking like that. You might start getting some calls after this race.
He's not moving, guys. Caution's coming.
There it is. Yellow flag for the 3rd time tonight. And it comes on lap 22 for Cole Custer, who was having a very good race and stalled at the entrance to the front stretch chicane.
They didn't have any. I wonder if he had some kind of a power issue that caused that. Because, I mean, we didn't see any lockups.
Something, yeah, definitely have.
He did put it in gear and start to go.
I think his brakes are on fire. Yeah, he had an issue, all right.
Jamie?
Yeah, he said, I have power. Oh, gosh. Yep, there's flames coming out there. A lot of smoke. He said he had power, but it just wouldn't fire. But he's got fire in the wrong areas now.
You think he just lost?
So we listened in.
I've done all of it. I've done all of it. I mean, all of it. Yeah, it's got power. It's just won't fire.
The next thing he needs to do is get out.
Yeah. There's no fire on the inside, but there's fire all around it.
What next?
It's the Clash.
We haven't seen it all tonight, but we've seen a lot of it.
Sure hope not.
Nope. Caution is out for Cole Custer. AMR safety team is very quickly on the scene to get that extinguished, and Cole Custer climbs out. Denny Hamlin is your leader. We're under the 3rd caution flag of the night for this. Welcome back to the Busch Clash at Daytona on FS1. Part of Speed Weeks presented by Advent Health. I'm Mike Joy with Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, Larry McReynolds with all his tools and toys in the studio, Jamie Little, Regan Smith on pit road. Last year's Clash winner, Eric Jones, in 7th place. And the hits just keep on coming. William Byron was one of 4 cars that made a pit stop under this caution. And there is part of his tire after making that pit stop.
Yeah, pretty good chance that as that left side was dropping, after the pit stop, probably hit the pit gun with the valve stem, and that's why the air went out of that left rear so quick before he could even make it back around.
No question, Jeff. It was flat before he even got off pit road.
Did a lot of damage, a lot of crush panels getting knocked out of it. Long ways around there.
Yeah, I think it was flat before he even got to the first turn.
All right, fellas, Hamlin, Blaney on the front row, the leader on each of the last 2 restarts. Never made it through turn 1.
I'd be checking up a little early. That's all I'm going to say.
It's just such a difficult thing. If you check up too much, they're going to dive bomb you and make the pass. You be 3 wide, and you could be in a wreck pretty easy.
You want to be passed or you want to be last?
Well, you overshoot that corner, Mike, you're going to be last.
Exactly. I want to be second.
All right, they've waved off the restart. They're going to go one more lap here. And let's take a look at the Xfinity fastest lap of tonight's race. Ryan Blaney over Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Eric Jones. So 2 Toyotas, 2 Fords, and a Chevy in the top 5 of that category. William Byron makes another pit stop. We'll take one too, except ours will not involve a big sledgehammer or a can opener, as on Matt DiBenedetto's car. "23 of 35 laps are complete in Daytona. In the Busch Clash, Denny Hamlin has led 15 of those. Now, his Joe Gibbs Toyota teammate Kyle Busch will restart alongside with Austin Dillon's Chevy and Brad Keselowski's Ford in the front 2 rows. Cole Custer is out of the race. William Byron stopped, got a new wheel and tire, and he will restart 20th. Made it all the way around on the rim without apparently much damage.
Well, it's a pretty decent amount of crush panel damage, but I don't know if that's going to really affect the performance of that car.
Penalty for Joey Logano. He will restart in the back, and the penalty is for not entering the pits in single file order.
It's a technicality.
So Byron and Logano will have work to do here.
Yes,
I think the big question, does anybody have anything for Denny Hamlin?
Well, we're going to only his teammates so far have, one of them being Martin Truex Jr. We're going to find out if Kyle Busch has something for him.
Pace car is in. Field addresses itself to the start line, and we are back under green.
Truex in a 19 car.
Nice and smooth turn 1 for our leader that time, Denny Hamlin.
Blaney locked it up, and Chase Elliott trying to gain some ground in mid-pack on the outside in turn 1. Goes 3 wide into the corner.
Look at Truex just taking that inside, taking that second position easy. Oh, Alex Bowman drops it left sides into the grass.
There's Elliott around the outside of Stenhouse for 8th place. It's been a long time since any Cup driver won a race on a road course not named Chase Elliott.
No, I think he's won the last 4 in a row.
21's got a weapon on his right door. Look at this.
That can opener.
It's a good race. And you're going to see a dive bomb right here. Getting into the bus stop.
I really like what I saw to Ryan Blaney right there in the number 12 Ford. He really launched, got a straight shot off of turn 7 or turn 6 to get up onto the banking, get that run to get to the inside, go to 4th position.
Look at the difference to the cars that have been up front and the cars that have been in the pack. Really dirty. Ryan Blaney in the 11 car clean. Them other 2 Gibbs cars that drove through the pack are dirty. Look like it's been a dirt track.
Chase to the inside, picks off Benedetto. And here he comes after Keselowski for 6th.
That was a big run.
Into the braking zone for the chicane.
It looks like Chase Elliott, Alan Gustafson making some nice adjustments on that number 9 Umar Chevrolet.
10 laps to go. Let's go back to the restart and watch the 12 of Ryan Blaney. 5th car on the outside. Here he comes into turn 1.
Well, I think he was moving out there to maybe block some guys from getting to the outside, and the door opened up and he just drove it on in there. Still locked it up a little bit, but at least this time he was in control.
3rd place is the race. Blaney and Kyle
Guys, remember,
Busch.
he was as fast as Denny Hamlin before that caution, and he has much fresher tires than these 3 Joe Gibbs Toyota drivers.
So left side even. Left side.
Martin Truex in 2nd place with some concern.
3 lifted so early on me that I flashed by the left front and pushed those in, so I don't know if I'll even make it.
Yeah, he did that on the turn 1 on a restart, locked it up quite a bit getting into turn 1.
Well, he got into the rear bumper, I think, of the 3 of Austin Dillon on that start, getting into turn 1 also there, Clint. So maybe that's some of what he's talking about.
Let's show you the lockup, the brake lockup here.
So he gets on the brakes. Yeah, maybe locked up there.
Trying to stay off of him. Couple 2 or 3 times there.
Trying not to go through Austin Dillon.
You can see that hood and nose is buckled there.
Chase Elliott trying to have a look at 5th place. Austin Dillon here.
Big lockup for Keselowski up here.
Here's Ryan Newman braking for the chicane, our guaranteed rate in-car camera. Riding with Newman tonight. Clint, we got a tradition at Fox, and we try to do it at least once a telecast. Folks at home call it shut them up. We like to call it crank it up.
All right. I will shut up.
On your right. Clear, all clear.
Oh, this is not over yet. This guy's been going at it.
And for the lead, Martin Truex, who with Chase Elliott have won a combined 8 of the last 9 NASCAR road course races. He wants the lead from Hamlin.
Well, you can see Hamlin fought back on the outside because he knew that this next turn was that dog leg with the inside, but here comes Truex to the inside.
Not necessarily, though. Denny's not out of this thing yet. Now he's going to have it. toughest corner right here.
Little wheel spin by the 19 of Truex. Now Denny's got position.
12 cars about 2 back.
What a comeback from Martin Truex.
Oh, he's going to do the crossover. Look at this car launch off that corner. Wow.
By the way, that 8 out of 9, the driver who won the 9th race, number 12, Ryan Blaney.
Well, he's coming because now look at him. Ryan Blaney has gotten by Denny Hamlin for second position.
He definitely capitalized on those two racing hard like that, made up a lot of ground.
Now, just before that, watch Brad Keselowski in the 2 and Tyler Reddick in the 8.
You see where Brad's
going to work.
Caution is out for Martin Truex.
Oh, no! It's just not meant to be.
Boy, I'm so curious to see, was this him racing with his teammate? Did maybe some dirt? Oh, that's right. He had gotten by him, so did maybe somebody lay some dirt? Well, he just ran it kind of loose through there.
Exactly like Kevin Harvick.
There's an old saying in road racing, the leader cleans the track for everybody. He gets to drive through all the crap that was put down by every other car the last lap.
Man, that's heartbreaking. Crushed. What a drive.
Well, he came from the back twice.
Okay. The mud got me bad.
That's just it. It's not just dirt, it's mud. That's why they're getting so slick. I mean, you've had a lot of rain down here.
When you can see to get through there quick, you got to run that car sideways.
Well, you got to be right down there close to that
right
mud,
on the edge and real close to where that mud and dirt's coming out on the racetrack.
Which is the tougher braking zone, the bus stop or the chicane on the front stretch?
I've been into the bus stop in a prototype car. It wasn't so hard. I've never been in the chicane.
Well, I think that's a great question, though, Mike. You got to use both of those. Those are the best passing zones.
7 laps to go. Let's bring you up to date. Kevin Harvick goes for a big slide. Does a good bit of damage to his Mustang. Ryan Blaney was the leader, locked him up going into turn 1. Kurt Busch had done the same thing on the prior restart. And Harvick again off in there deep. On the competition caution, Martin Truex looking for the pace car or something like it and missed the chicane, had to start in the back. Here's Kurt Busch going the high wide, and you don't want to do that. Now Cole Custer comes to a stop, grabs a gear, goes about a foot, and then this happens. He's 4 laps down. But back at it, and Martin Truex, one of NASCAR's most accomplished road racers, goes around and into the wall.
But I think, Clint, you called it. It looked like he had that right rear tire really low, trying to cut that that last part of the bus stop. And it looked like there just may have been too much mud and dirt on the track there to lose traction.
So, Larry, caution out. 7 laps to go. From a TV standpoint, we got exactly what we wished for, a caution to bunch the field for a big run to the checker. But when pit road opens, what do you do?
Yeah, Mike, and we've got 19 cars on the lead lap, and we're going to go back racing with 5 to go. What's interesting is the varying tires that are at the front of the pack. If you look at Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman, 1st, 3rd, and 5th, they have the freshest tires. I think, though, if you're in the top 5, 6, or 7, no matter how many laps you've got to stay out, because, again, we're going to go back racing with roughly 5 to go. If you're back there like William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Matt DiBenedetto, absolutely. Come get 4 more.
Thanks, Larry. Well, we said expect the unexpected. We've not been disappointed. Mike Joy, Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer. Don't know what we're going to see next, but wasn't this what we hoped for? Let's wave the flag with 5 to go and let it rip.
Well, and what makes road racing so much fun is when the cautions come out at the right time. Switch up the strategy, who gets fresher tires, who gets the track position. I think we're going to see that play out. I got my eye on Chase Elliott right now. He's struggled a little bit here today, but he was coming right before that wreck happened with the 19.
Call it, Jeff. Last caution. Have we seen the last caution? Oh, no way.
Probably not. Probably not.
I don't think so.
No
I don't
points
think
on
we've
the
seen the
line.
last car to lock
I'm
up.
going for it.
We haven't seen the last car to lock up into turn 1 either.
No.
This is where the wires start sparking inside the helmet.
I'm not sure we've seen everything Kyle Busch has either. He has driven a very paced race, I would call it, once he worked his way up from the opening draw of the start into the top 5 to put himself in position. So here come more than half the field, I'd say, to pit road. Jamie.
And Kyle Busch in the 18, last pitted on lap 17, talking with his new crew chief, Ben Bayshore, asking, what do you think we should do? Do you think we should pit? He said, let's get some tires. Let's take our chances here and do it, Regan.
Well, Denny Hamlin, 1 set of tires left for this team. They didn't want to leave them set in. They wanted to use them. Pretty happy with that race car. Just getting descriptions about what the other cars around him were doing better than him. The 12 car, Ryan Blaney, that race car was good on new tires. He wanted 4 fresh ones.
6 cars stayed out. 14 came to pit road. So the first of those with new tires should start right about 7. Boys, we got a race on our hands. It's the Busch Clash in Daytona on FS1. Daytona 500 Sunday. Tonight, 5 laps to settle the Busch Clash of 21. Now, the scoring on the left is the way they crossed the line a lap ago. Some of those cars went to pit road. Chase Elliott is up front.
These guys are going to have to pounce fast. They got to get through 6 of them with those tires. Needs to happen here in the first 3 corners.
Elliott, Kurt Busch, Reddick, Logano, Almirola, and Buescher did not stop. That's the way they'll restart. The first cars with fresh tires. Blaney in 7th, Bowman in 8th, Kyle Busch and Hamlin. Little contact.
Car. Does he get a little help from Tyler Reddick? Not sure why, or if he just locked up again, but boy, lost a lot of positions right there.
Still 2 wide.
There was contact, and it knocks Kurt Busch back to 7th. Elliott in command. Logano, Buescher, Reddick.
Boy, Blaney already cutting through those cars on older tires up to 4th.
When they're all together like that, that's your best opportunity. He made some pretty good work of that.
I like that strategy of stopping during that caution, and what'll make it pay off is that 14 of the 20 cars did. So not too much traffic to get through at the front of drivers on older tires.
Yeah, it's just all about what's going to happen to those tires if he can get up to our leader right now. If Chase Elliott stays in the lead, if the 12 gets up there, will those tires start to level out a little bit as they get heat and the pressure builds up?
There he was looking to the inside of Buescher.
Blaney to 3rd of the 12.
Blaney's had a great car all night long, doing an excellent job. He's got confidence on these road courses. He's run well in the past.
Took care of his car too. Look how clean it is. No fender damage, nothing. Passed a lot of cars.
I'm still impressed with his teammate Joe Logano in 2nd place right now with all the damage to that front splitter. Riding here with Eric Jones.
Still saw so much dirt right there. Having trouble putting the throttle down off of that back bus stop. A lot of tire smoke up there. Is that Busch?
Yeah, I think it is.
Fender
he must have made some contact with somebody in turn 1.
Elliott, Logano 1-2. That's how they finished on the Charlotte Roval last year. And Kurt Busch goes to pit road.
Yeah, a lot of
heavy damage to the nose of that car.
Hood and fender.
Outside move for Kyle Busch, and that's Bowman on the inside. Alex Bowman 6th. Kyle Busch 7th is the 3rd car now on new tires. Blaney to 2nd. Jamie.
Joey Logano just got passed by his teammate Blaney. All three Penske cars brought a different approach to the race tonight to see what would work in a couple of weeks when they come back. But Joey Logano, you mentioned the damage on the nose from running over the curb earlier. The handling went away on the car, but they didn't give up. Paul Wolfe kept working on it. Look at those brake rotors blow. Look right there. You see the screen is completely missing on the front end of that car. They got it in great shape. Now here's Joey Logano running third.
He's doing a great job of that car. I can promise you that is detrimental to the turn. Everything about what we're trying to do at this racetrack right now.
So of the drivers that stopped at lap 29, Blaney is the only one to advance into the top 5. Matt DiBenedetto on Almirola, who started last and got it up into the top dozen.
And Mike, a lot of that just has to do with which lane you're in when you get to turn 1 on that restart. I think Blaney was able to get through some cars pretty easily, probably because of his lane choice, or that, you know, the lane that he was in. Like we've seen him make it 3 wide on the outside on some of his other restarts.
Keselowski has spun from 8th place at the bus stop.
You know, Jeff, the Roval put in turf right there.
Oh, another goes around. Oh, and he clipped Bowman. Heavy damage to the right rear.
Caution.
3 to go.
Boy, caution would change things in a big way.
We stay green.
The last thing Chase Elliott would want is a caution right now.
Buescher, Reddick, and Bowman.
Yeah, he got dumped.
Ooh, boy, just Bowman tried to squeeze by. You can see Reddick was just, he felt like he had the lane to get to the inside of Buescher. Buescher blocked him and closed the door, and then Reddick used the chrome horn.
Jeff, we've been talking about this bus stop all night long. Like I said, the Roval has that turf in it. Non-issue, right? You go through it, no dirt, no mud, no anything. Obviously, they just ran 24 hours of racing on this thing with no dirt and mud back there. What's your opinion on that? Do you fix it, or is it our fault?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it seems like for our cars, you know, for these big, heavy stock cars, they need a little bit more curbing back there to keep guys from getting into the grass and pulling that dirt out there. But Blaney has really closed up to our leader, Chase Elliott.
2.5 to go. Chase Elliott started this race last. After Alan Gustafson saw something on the car, he felt they had to adjust. The cars had already been impounded from inspection, so they made the adjustment and took the penalty of losing their 7th starting spot and starting at the tail end of the field.
Yeah, he did a great job getting through that bus stop. You could tell Blaney kind of backed off a little bit, but he's making up for it. Them tires right here.
It looks like Blaney really carries a lot more speed into the apex of the corner under braking, and then Chase Elliott's just trying to square up the corner and get a nice drive off.
2 to go. So Kyle Busch now up into the top 5. And you couldn't get much closer for the lead here.
All right, Clint, where's the opportunity here for Ryan Blaney? If he gets close enough, where can he make a move? Obviously, really good in the braking zones.
I look for turn 5 and 6. He's going to try to set him up here. Get close enough, you get in position. You may dive onto the inside of turn 5. You might do like we've seen a lot.
I don't know about this outside.
Is he going to run his buddy off the track right here? This is going to be wild. Oh, he's loose.
But he's outside.
Oh, my goodness. Did you see how much?
Yes, barely.
The back end was just out.
He's going to get back
30 degrees on that 9 car. I thought he was spinning around.
But being on the outside of the kink put him on the inside at the apex of turn 5, and that's where he finished off. Well, the number 9 for now.
Done with him.
Yeah, he's not done yet.
No.
You saw Chase Elliott just could not put the power down off of that slow turn 3. And Ryan Blaney was able to, got to the outside. I did not think those guys were going to make through that dog leg side by side.
That dog leg is so hard side by side like that. It's hard by yourself. You get really loose. That thing wants to slide out there. You dip those right sides off, you're in big trouble. And I thought he was going to get into Blaney and put them both off the track right there.
Well, that was a leap of faith for Ryan Blaney, and it paid off. It got him the lead with a lap and a half to go.
You saw right there, Ryan Blaney was pretty conservative getting into that braking zone at the bus stop. The 9 of Chase Elliott really closed up on him.
But then he got a louder.
We listened in on Chase Elliott and company.
He went in with nothing coming. I know.
I don't know if I say nothing. You got one more lap. That's what you got.
Yeah. White flag. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
You're going to see some dive bombs, I can promise.
It's not from a lack of effort here.
Nope. Big dive bomb right there.
I think Ryan Blaney knows. He's got the grip. He's got a fast race car. Just can't make any mistakes. But Chase Elliott stepped up the aggressiveness.
I think if Chase can stay close.
Oh,
that's a mistake. That's a mistake you were talking about. If he can stay close to him in this bus stop, Chase is faster, better getting into the bus stop than Blaney.
Well, that right there is where Blaney made his move the last time by, and now you can see he was able to stretch it out there again.
All right, off to turn 5, which is the
big dive bomb.
Chase Elliott really carried a ton of speed in there.
For whatever reason, Blaney cannot get in the corner anymore.
Yeah, it's weird, right? When he was behind Chase Elliott, he was able to get him by 2 or 3 car lengths.
Got to get set up here and get off this
wheel
corner.
hot by the 9, I think.
Huge dive bomb opportunity coming, getting into the bus stop in the back straightaway.
All right, what will they bring back besides the steering wheel? Here we go to the banking for the final time.
Case of beer. That's too much gap, Jeff.
I agree. He's going to have to close up the gap enough here and then get close enough to him out of the bus stop for the chicane on the front straightaway.
How much?
Is it too much or just enough?
Oh,
he's in trouble.
Blaney's struggling.
A little lock up there.
Pressure.
Chase
This is what he needed right here.
Chase has a chance. Blaney has the acceleration. They're up in the east banking for the final time.
It's going to all come down to this braking zone.
Try to force a mistake is all Chase Elliott can do. Push him. You know he's going to push him hard. Man, he's got brake. Look how the brakes are hot.
He gets there. He's there.
Brakes are
Elliott inside in the chicane. Pounds Ryan Blaney.
Here comes
Kyle Busch. And it's a drag race to the line. Kyle Busch is going to steal the Busch Clash.
How about that?
Oh, I did not see that one.
Hey, I thought they were buddies.
I thought they were. Not anymore. Not tonight, anyway. But think about this. When Blaney won, remember when Blaney won in Charlotte on that Roval because somebody else had contacted, spun around with Jimmy Johnson and Mark Truex Jr. Blaney was the recipient.
You could see why Ryan Blaney was having trouble getting in the corner. Did you see the sparks flying off his rear brakes getting into that last corner in the chicane right there? Couldn't get in.
No, it looked like his brakes were coming apart.
Big time too hot. Watch the brakes in the back of this thing.
He knows that Chase Elliott's going to try that outside move. Finally gives him enough room. Chase gets in there. Oh, man, Chase really just door slammed him right in the middle of the corner.
You can see his brakes just throwing sparks off of him.
You can see Chase had his hands full there. They were both pretty deep.
Man, they won't let us in the coach lot anymore.
Could get excited down there tonight.
And for the second time, Kyle Busch wins the Busch Clash with a last lap pass. He did it in 2012. Wow. Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney exchanged helmets from their first Cup wins.
They might be throwing helmets at each other in a minute.
Did you say it was over? I'm just wondering, when they were going in the bus stop, did you say, oh, it's over?
I thought so. You could definitely see Blaney was having big time trouble with his brakes.
Rookies.
Hey, I didn't think in a million years he would go in there and get into his buddy. He did.
Well,
what do you think, man? I think he's Busch Clash on a road course. I dig it.
That did not disappoint.
Lucy, I think he's got some splaining to do.
Man, the grin on Kyle Busch's face right now. That's the only thing. You know Kyle was watching those two. Come on, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
I saw Kyle up in the east banking, and he's about 20 car lengths back. And I almost said, you know what he's hoping for? I don't want to say that.
Hey, but the year he had last year, new crew chief, things are fixed.
No. Things are repaired. Things are better. We don't say fixed up here, Clint. Wow. What a crazy race. And what a surprise ending.
Fans in the grandstands got a show tonight.
Yep, the Candyman wins the Clash. And Regan Smith is right there.
Kyle Busch climbs victoriously from this race car. Getting the helmet off after a hard night of working on the racetrack. Kyle, what a last lap. We didn't, I don't know that we talked that much about you throughout the course of the night. A quiet night for you, and when it all came down to it, there you are. What did you think when you saw what happened on the last corner there?
I just knew to keep my head down and keep focused ahead and just seeing if I could hit my marks and get close enough to have a shot like that if something like that were to materialize. And fortunately, it did for us. You know, I can't say enough about Ben Beshore and this whole M&M's team, everybody over the offseason, a new M&M's team, and appreciate what all they do for me. Everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing, Toyota, TRD. It's awesome to start off a year with a win, you know, non-points win, but would love nothing more than to be right here this Sunday.
You talk about crew chief Ben Beshore, first race with him as your Cup crew chief. Seems like a pretty good start right there.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, I've been through a couple crew chiefs anyways, and it always seems to kind of go well for a little while, and then it kind of fizzles out. So, you know, it kind of just is what it is in the sport of racing. But, you know, we had a great car here tonight. We worked a lot over the winter time and focusing on what we could do for this race to know that we needed to get better for, you know, race number 2 coming up next week, or 2 weeks.
All right, good luck the rest of this week, Kyle.
10th Clash win by Joe Gibbs Racing, most of any teams in the history of this race, which dates back to 1979. Kyle Busch the winner, and as you saw in the inset, 2 best friends have some fender mending to do.
Well, there's no best friends on the last lap when you come to the last corner, Mike. These guys were
Especially
both,
for the win.
They were both really going for it.
Well, the Busch Clash did not disappoint. We had a lot of the unexpected. We had a wild ending. And, you know, Clint, I did not disagree with you coming out of turn 2. It looked like that was a large gap to make up.
Oh, yeah, no chance. Boy, I was wrong.
Oh, well, hey, that's what you're going to see on road courses. And I love that NASCAR decided to put the Clash on this road course, and that was some great action. Just a great way to get Speed Week started here in Daytona.
All right, let's hear from Chase Elliott. Jamie?
Well, he led 4 laps tonight. Coming from the back of the field, you put on a fun show for us to watch. But, Chase, we just saw you talk to Ryan. We know you guys are good buddies, but there's no points on the line. But he's got the wrecked race car. How do you balance that together?
Well, and neither one of us won. I mean, that's the big one. But, yeah, I was close enough to drive it in there. And, yeah, I feel like I'd be mad at myself for not at least trying. I mean, obviously, I don't mean to wreck anybody much, especially him. Some guys I wouldn't mind, but he's not one of them. So, you know, hopefully he's not too mad at me. I feel like you got to go for it here in an event like this and in a situation. So I can't be sorry about going for the win, but certainly didn't mean to wreck him. Drove in there and, yeah, just that corner gets so tight. And I didn't want to just completely jump the curb to the right. But I felt like I tried to get over there as far as I could to it, and at that point we were coming together at the same time. But yeah, hate it. We had a fast Lumar Chevrolet in a position to have a shot at it, so we'll try again Sunday.
All right, the 2020 NASCAR Cup champion. Let's go over to Regan Smith.
Well, the receiving end of that last lap contact, Ryan Blaney, I know Chase said he hates that it happened. You guys are battling for the win. He made the move. Give it to me from your perspective.
I mean, yeah, I'd hate it happened too. It didn't work out for either of us. So well, we were just racing hard, and a little bit fresher tires there. We saved the set, and got back to second there, and I kind of, this car was really good. I had to use up a lot to get to him, and I tried to protect, and I drove into the last corner really deep to try to make sure I didn't protect it or get dive bomb like that, and we just came together there. So what are you going to do? But I appreciate the Penske boys doing what they do. I missed the turn one over there, leading earlier, and they were able to recover for that. So thanks Great Lakes Flooring and Menards and Ford, and learn something for next week, I think, and excited to get the 500 going this weekend.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Regan. It's the Busch Clash. You've got to go for it.
Well, and you heard him say he used everything up, Ryan Blaney did, to get the lead from Chase Elliott.
Yeah, you could see Chase or Ryan Blaney was having trouble getting into the corners. That was Chase's opportunity, and that's a win, by the way. He went for it. It's what a race car driver's supposed to do.
Kyle Busch led the last, 300 or 400 feet, all the way to the finish line. We're here from the studio after this. You're watching the Busch Clash on FS1. It never disappoints. But some are very disappointed.
We saw out at Daytona in the Clash, Shannon, Larry, and Bobby. Guys, all right, so I love how both Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney are like, well, we both didn't win, so it is what it is. What do you think about what you saw?
Yeah, it stunk for both of them, but, I love the way that these guys, Ryan had a little bit fresher tires on. Chase Elliott did a great job holding him off, and even when he got by him, he was able to catch back up at times and put the pressure on him. And they went through the bus stop on the back straightaway. Chase was there, went back to the chicane off of 4. And, I mean, both these young guys are hungry for that win. Even though it didn't pay any points, it might have paid a beer for each other later, but that was about it. But they got wrecked, but they were tough going for it. I love that part about it.
Well, we talked about it in the pre-race show. It wasn't about a solid finish. It wasn't about points. It was about the checkered flag waving just a few feet beyond those two drivers right there. Ryan Blaney, I know he had fresher tires, but he was so good on restarts. But I will say this. Kyle Busch on that final restart even started deeper than Ryan Blaney and just licking his chops when he saw what was going on up there in front of him.
We have to talk about the winner because I feel like every week last season we were asking when Kyle Busch was going to win. And I know that this is not a points race, but it's still a win, and that is a big deal to Kyle Busch.
Well, it's probably a big deal to him, obviously, and a big deal to a new crew chief, Ben Bayshore. That has to give him confidence, even though it was just the Busch Clash. It's the way to get a new season started.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you think about it, Kyle Busch, you think about him, he would have been up there getting for that win and maybe getting into a tussle with somebody, but he was the one that took advantage of the situation. So taking a win's a win. He has it, and a great way to start off speed weeks.
You bring the same car back for week 2 because, of course, we're racing on this this track week 2.
I don't know if you bring the same one back, but you learned a lot. I promise you.
You learned a lot.
Yes, you did.
Like what? What could you take from this race that was just 35 laps and an exhibition that you can use week 2?
Well, you had no data with this aero package or with this tire because it was totally different when we were there in August. And to me, all 21 of these teams and drivers, they all have an advantage over the rest of the half of the field because they were able to run this race today and put notes in their notebook.
All right, so we do have a lot of racing before we get to the big race, which is on Sunday, the Daytona 500. As a driver, what do you do now to sort of reprogram your brain, reset things, and get ready for the big race?
Well, yeah, obviously, what you look at, these guys, they had a great night with no practice and nothing. They learned a lot. Now you got to go in the motorhome and say, okay, get it over with, start tomorrow. We got practice qualifying, so it's a great way to start the week.
We will be here all week long. Race Hub tomorrow at 6 p.m. Guys, we're back. Racing's back.
Only 5 days to the Daytona 500.
There he goes. What a race from Daytona. So glad you guys could join us. Stick around. College basketball coming up next.